Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I love doing DIY, making clothes in a simply but free way. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I make the shirred dress. It's the combination between a shirt dress and a drap dress with puff sleeve. I know it's fun and it's cold there for some of you guys, but I just can't stop myself from making this beautiful dress. And you can wear this dress in so many different ways. So I hope you will like this DIY and try it out soon. And let's get started. To make this dress, I use 3 meters of linen bamboo fabric. The first step is making the back borders of the dress. I cut a rectangle with 92 cm width, which is my hip size, and 112 cm length, which is the length from above my breast to over my knee. It's the length of the dress that I want. At one width line, I draw a line at 3.5 cm under it first. After that, I fold the end fabric inside around a half centimeter, then keep folding it to the line I just drew before that. So I will have a fabric hole with around 1.5 cm width, which is bigger than the width of the elastic band I will use later. After sewing, I create a connecting part with the sleeve at two sides of the rectangle. From one end of the width line, I mark at 6 cm. It's the depth of the armpit area of the dress. From this end of the width line, I mark inside it 9 cm, which is the width of the sleeve on your shoulder. After that, from the width line, I draw another horizontal line at 22 cm under it. It's the width from above the breast to around 3 cm above the belly button. Then I draw another horizontal line between them 1 cm away from each other, so I can make the shirring there later. After sewing, I finish the top of the back borders by cutting an elastic band with 24 cm length, which is the width between two inside shoulders. After putting the elastic band through the fabric hole, I sew two ends of the elastic band to the fabric to permanent it there. From the end of the shirring part, I mark at 5 cm under it. It will be the position for the pocket later. And you will have the back borders of the dress after sewing. Moving to the front borders of the dress, I cut a rectangle with 92 cm width, which is my hip size, and 95 cm length, which is the length from 7 cm above the belly button to over my knee. At one width line, I draw a horizontal line 3.5 cm under it. Then I create a fabric hole there later, similar to the way I did at the back borders. After that, I draw another horizontal line 5 cm under it first, then keep drawing another line between them 1 cm away from each other. They will be the line for the shirring later. After sewing, I cut an elastic band 33 cm length, which is a half of my waist size. After putting the elastic band through the fabric hole, I sew two ends of it to the fabric to keep them together. The next step is adding the pocket to the front pattern. From the end of the shirred part, I mark down 5 cm for the position of the pocket, then adding the pocket there later. And we will have the bottom part of the front bodice after sewing. Moving to the top part of the front bodice, I cut a rectangle with 22 cm length, which is the length of the shirring at the back bodice, and 37 cm width, which is the half of my under bust size plus 2 cm for seam allowance. At the top of one length line, I mark down at 6 cm. I also mark 9 cm on the width line, then drawing a line to connect two marks together. It will be the connecting part with the sleeve later, so make sure it's the same with the sleeve part at the back bodice. From the mark on the width line, I mark at 1 cm next to it, then connect this mark to the mark at 6 cm above the end of the length line at the other side. It will create the neck of the top part of the front bodice. Now I'm creating the dart at the bust area. From the end of the sleeve line, I mark down 6 cm on the width line, then draw a 8 cm perpendicular line from it to inside. After that, I draw two lines from one end of the perpendicular line to 2 cm under the mark on the length line. If you have a big breast, you should make the distance between these lines bigger. Because of the dart, the length line is not straight, so I recut it after sewing and ironing it. To make the tie at the waist of the dress, I cut a long rectangle with 8 cm width and 80 cm length. I fold two length lines of the rectangle together and sew first. Then I upside and iron it later to have a tie. I put the tie in the middle between two pieces of the top part of the front bodice, then sew them together. And you will have the top part of the front bodice after turning it inside out. Remember, you need two pieces for the top part of the front bodice. Now I'm connecting the front and the back of the bodice together. I connect the back bodice to the bottom part of the front bodice first. Then I connect the top part of the front bodice to them later. Make sure the top part will be outside the bottom part of the front bodice. To create the dip for the pocket, I marked at 14 cm from the top of the pocket. It's the open area of the pocket that you can put your hand through. Then sew the rest of the pocket together. To finish the end of the dress, I fold the end fabric inside 2 times and sew them together. Moving to the sleeve of the dress, I cut a rectangle with 55 cm length, which is the length from the shoulder to over my elbow. It's the length of the sleeve that I want. And 80 cm width, which is 2 times the width of the sleeve that I want. At one width line, I draw a horizontal line at 3.5 cm under it. Then I fold the end fabric inside around a half centimeter first, then keep folding it to the line just drew before that, so I will have a fabric hole after sewing. I fold the rectangle in half by the width line first, then at the end of the folding fabric, I mark up 6 cm and mark inside 9 cm. And drawing a line to connect two marks together after that to create a sleeve line to connect to the main borders of the dress later. I want the end of the sleeve a bit smaller, so I make the end of the folding fabric shorter by around 6 cm, then drawing a curved line to connect to the end of the sleeve line. After cutting, I connect two curved lines together. At the end of the sleeve, I fold the end fabric inside 2 times and sew to finish it. From the end of the sleeve, I draw a line 8 cm inside it. It will be the position for the elastic band later. To create the puffy at the end of the sleeve, I need to make a fabric hole there. So I cut a long rectangle with 2.5 cm width and 56 cm length, which is the same at the end of the sleeve. I connect two width lines of the rectangle to create a circle fabric first. Then I use the iron to make the fold for two length lines of the circle fabric later. Make sure the circle fabric in the end will have around 2 cm width, so you can create a fabric hole bigger than 1 cm. I add the circle fabric to the position I made before that, and sew two sides of the circle fabric to create a fabric hole. Remember to keep a small unsew at one side of the circle fabric to put the elastic band later. I cut an elastic band around 22 cm length, which is a bit bigger than the width of my arm there. After putting the elastic band through the fabric hole, I sew two ends of it together and close the unsewed space. Moving to the top of the sleeve, I cut an elastic band with 30 cm length, which is 2 times the length from the shoulder to above my breast. After putting the elastic band through the fabric hole, I sew two ends of it to the fabric to keep it there. And here's the sleeve of the dress, making one more piece like this. The last step is connecting the sleeve to the main borders of the dress. and I finished this DIY. Here's my final result. This red is so beautiful and you can wear it at two sides. So I hope you will try it out. See you next week.